argue that the principle established in Horton v. California can be used in our court case today, and that these three principles were not met in our court case today. However, all three of these principles were met. The second point, that the officer has rightful access to the object. The officer was able to see the incriminating items in the interior of the car because of plain view. The third point, the incriminating nature must be immediately apparent. Now, the combination of these things that the officer saw, the roll of money, the accounting list, and the bag of orange-colored pills, were immediately apparent to any passerby, but specifically the officer.
Any passerby, or only passerbys that climb onto the car and look through the front windshield with a flashlight?
Any passerby, because what the officer did is irrelevant to what the officer saw, because what the officer saw was still in plain view. May I proceed, Your Honor? The combination of what the officer saw showed the immediately incriminating items in the defendant Ray Concha's car.
If they were immediately incriminating, why wasn't Ray Concha arrested at the time?
Your Honor, because these did not provide.
Isn't it true that they weren't arrested at the time because it was somewhat ambiguous?
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes.
The defendant had a lowered expectation of privacy because the defendant left his car in the parking lot with a partially open window. Therefore, Officer Doherty's observations did not violate the defendant's Fourth Amendment rights, and the officer's observations should be admitted. Thank you.
All right, do we need to take a break?
No, we're good.
All right, you can make your ruling whether it comes in or doesn't come in.
Again, Your Honor, my name is Zoe Cruz, and I, along with my co-counsel Gabe Grossman and Chabuca Nesnesky, represent the people of the state of California. Your Honor, we will ask that Exhibit A and Exhibit B be marked for identification.
Are those there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are there any objections?
None, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Your Honor, may I ask for permission to move freely about the court and approach the exhibits?
Yes.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Sandra Medina, Jason Johnson. These two Rosewood High School students were both killed by a lethal combination of Adderall and alcohol within a matter of months. The defendant, Ray Concha, is charged in count 1 with the murder of Jason Johnson, and in count 2, charged with the possession and the intent to sell the controlled substance Adderall. It was the defendant's words, the defendant's drugs, and the defendant's crime that killed Jason Johnson. The evidence will show beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant had a prescription for Adderall and access to the drug. The defendant directly sold Adderall to the victim, knowing full well that this drug could kill him. Jason directly told the defendant that he had a serious heart defect. But you will see that the defendant sold Adderall to Jason anyway, acting with a conscious disregard for human life, resulting in Jason Johnson's death on March 27, 2013. What you'll hear from the stand today will leave no reason to doubt the defendant's guilt. You'll hear from Alex Weaver that during a conversation with the defendant claimed that she knew that Jason was taking Adderall. Officer Doherty, an undercover officer brought in to pose as a student and report on drug use, heard the defendant claim that she had access to Adderall and even offer Adderall to Officer Doherty. Approximately 1 month before Jason Johnson's death, the Officer Doherty saw a roll of money, what appeared to be a Pays and O ledger, and plastic baggie containing Adderall in the back of the defendant's car. On the morning of Jason Johnson's death, March 27, 2013, Officer Doherty searched the defendant's car and found baggies containing Adderall, approximately $200 in cash, and generic bottles with Adderall inside. Finally, the county's chief coroner, Dr. Ricky Sanchez, will tell you that it was Adderall that killed Jason Johnson. Adderall was the reason that Jason Johnson was dead, and it was the defendant that sold Adderall to Jason Johnson. It was this defendant's words, this defendant's drugs, and this defendant's crime. Your Honor, this is why we will ask you to find the defendant, Ray Concha, guilty for the murder of Jason Johnson and with the possession and the intent to sell the controlled substance Adderall. Thank you.